Good morning. When you don't need it, you will get it, is the title of today's video. When you don't need it, you will get it. I know that you want to manifest money, you want to manifest love, you want to manifest maybe career goals, particular items. I know you want to manifest all that stuff, but true manifesting power comes when you fully realize you don't need any of that junk. Okay? Because when you finally don't need it, that's when you're going to start to get all the things that you want. And so today we're going to talk about neediness and why neediness doesn't work. And by the time we get through this video, you should have lots of reasons to put it down when you find yourself clinging. Okay, so I am aiming here to give you guys all the ammunition that you need to keep yourself from becoming needy regarding the things that you want, so that you can easily stay detached and allow things to come. So as you're coming in, of course, please go ahead and like the video. Let me know that you're here. And if you have questions about manifestation, of course, go ahead and drop those into the chat, because as always, I will be stopping periodically to answer some of those. I see here, let's see. Thank you to Happy Daisy. I see we got some supers in here already. Thank you, Happy Daisy. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Peace also with a super sticker. Thank you so much. I also see your question piece. I'll answer that one in just a moment. And then I also see we have a super chat here from Monica. Monica, I'll get to that one as well in a minute. Thanks, guys, for the supers. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Some other hellos here. I see Luis is here this morning. Abundant Queen is here. Rainbow Traveling Yogi is here. Tragon is here. My lovely assistant Mary is here. Picket Music is here. Natalie is here. Anna Lotus is here. T Sherry Baby is here. Opulent Beauty is here. Nice to see all of you guys. Cowlitz Bill, Sylvie, nice to see you. I also see over here, I Am Lily Rain is here on Instagram. Banji is here. Hello, nice to see you guys. Again, yes, today we're talking about when you don't need it, you'll get it, okay? And neediness is what's going to cause things to stay away from you. And so we're going to give you lots of ammunition here today, because it's so common for people to need or to feel like they need. And that feeling that you need something is what keeps you stuck and unable to attract. But when you realize you don't need any of it, I mean, they could come and take your job away. They could come and wipe out your bank account. They could take every possession you own. When you realize that's okay and you don't need any of that junk, then you become a match for everything. Okay, so most people have it flipped. They think, I have to try and care about this. I have to make this a priority. I have to make this important. It's actually the exact opposite. Today I'm going to prove to you why that is. Okay, so the first thing to understand about neediness is that neediness at its core, vibrationally, what it means is you feel incomplete as you are. That's the core foundational problem with neediness and needing things to manifest, is that when you need something to manifest, or you need to have something, what you're telling the universe is, I am incomplete. Now, this is a fallacy. All right. So most of you guys, hopefully if you've been watching me for a while, you understand that you are infinite. You are everything. You already have everything contained within you. You are the creator of your universe. So it all comes from you. You already have it. So when you have this perception that you need something, like you need money, or you need a job, or you need a friend, or you need a girlfriend, or you need something, what you're telling the universe effectively is, I'm not the creator. I'm not infinite. there's this thing outside of me that I don't have, and I need that thing in order to be complete. Again, this is a fallacy. So neediness, the main reason that neediness doesn't work is that it disempowers you as the creator. Okay? It says to your reality, I am not the creator, I am not complete, and I need something outside of myself in order to be complete. Now, the way that you create your reality is through your belief structures and your vibration. So at all times, we want to be projecting this message that I am the creator. I am complete. I have everything that I need. I am abundant. I do have. I'm enormously powerful. Now, would somebody who truly believed in the enormity of their power be terribly concerned about manifesting $100? No. Would somebody that knew that they were infinitely powerful be worried about getting a text message from a boy or a girl? No. They would not. Okay. And so this is one of the core things to understand is you want to start to get this attitude that let them take it all away. And I had a question last week. I think it was T Sherry Baby. Remind me if it was you. But I believe she had asked me a question about, maybe you're attracting abundance and then it suddenly slows down. And that was kind of the thing that facilitated this idea for this video today. Because my point to her question was, when it slows down, good. Remind me that I don't need it. When the abundance isn't coming, that's the opportunity for me to say, that's right, I don't even need it. I don't even need it. And this is the attitude that you guys want to have, is that whenever something is away from you, good, because I didn't even need it anyway. So please understand, when you don't need it, what it means is you already understand that you have it. That's the big thing. So a lot of times people will ask the question, how do I believe that I have something? I understand that I'm supposed to think about it. I understand I'm supposed to focus on it. But how do I believe that I actually have it? Well, the way you believe that you actually have it is by not needing it. Because if you didn't need it, it would mean it wasn't outside of you. Do you get it? Okay, so this is something you want to adopt as kind of a way of thinking. Whenever something that you want isn't there in your present moment, you're not seeing it, you want to remind yourself, oh, good, because I don't even need it. Clearly, I don't need it because I'm still standing. Clearly, I don't need it because I'm still doing okay. All right? So the grand irony of this is whenever something isn't around is your greatest opportunity to practice your power. All right? It doesn't mean you're disempowered. It means you have the chance to look out into your reality and say, I don't even need it. And that's a very powerful mantra for all of you guys to have. All right, let's come through. We got more stuff to talk about. That's just a little bit. But before I get too far ahead of myself, let me answer some of these questions real quick because I saw some of these come in. Peace. Thanks again, Peace, for the super. Peace said, what is the best way to project onto clients that, or see them as, they have enough money, are healthy, and are in their power, especially if they are not yet? Okay, so this is a great question for any of you guys who are in sales or you run your own business. But really, I mean, anybody can use this. If you're dealing with somebody who you perceive as not having money, all right? And so this is a big deal in sales because let's say that you're offering a service or a product to somebody and you don't believe the person can afford it, or you believe they think it's going to be too expensive. So if you go into that sales experience with that person, you're projecting lack onto the client or the prospective client, and they're not going to want to buy it for that reason. Not because they can't, but because I'm projecting lack onto them. And so for any of you guys that are entrepreneurs or salespeople out there, you really want to start to understand that, one of the big shifts for this is the investment versus expense mindset. And I do talk about this, all right, from time to time. And I talk about it from the perspective of you as the buyer. Whenever you're buying something, you want to perceive it as an investment rather than as an expense. But you want to do the same thing if you are selling something to someone. You want to perceive it as their investment, not as their expense. Okay? So for instance, Peace, I know you've been around for a while. A lot of you guys know I sell courses. I got lots of different courses. Shameless plug, look in the description if you want to see all my courses, okay? All right, but I have a range of prices, but for most of my full-length programs, they are between $400 and $1,000 USD. So they're not cheap, okay? And I like it that way. I don't want them cheap. But if I look at somebody and say they can't afford it, or this is an expense, I'm really disempowering that other person. So instead, the way that I would look at this, if I was selling to somebody, and I do, is that if somebody buys my course, let's say someone doesn't have a lot of money, all right, but they find a way to get together $400 and they buy my program. Well, if what they learned in that program led them to attract an additional $10,000 that month, was it worth it? Yes. And anybody who's selling anything really should be thinking about this. If you're selling a product or a service, you are selling something that is an investment. You're selling something that's making the person's life better. Okay? So that's the way you want to look at it. They can't afford not to buy it. This is something that they need. This is something that's going to help them. The price that I'm asking for is peanuts because they're getting something from it that far exceeds the amount of money that they're putting out. So they are investing. And me saying you're too poor to invest is terribly lack mindset for me to put onto that person. All right. Another thing is that people can always afford the things that they want. Okay. The things that are really important to them, they'll find a way. Okay. So if you have something that somebody really wants, why would you block that from them? They want it. They see the value in it. Okay. Hope that's helpful. I can go off on a tangent with the business questions. All right. We got another super here. Monica, again, thank you for the super. Monica says, thank you for all you do. I've been a beauty expert in the field for almost 30 years. How can I do this on my own terms and make the income that I know I'm worthy of? It sounds like you're working for somebody and you want to work for yourself. So I'm going to go about it that way. Sometimes if somebody's been working for a business and they want to start their own business, that can seem like a bit of a jump. All right. So you can just say, screw it and just go start your own thing. Or what you can do is within your work, start to do your work more on your own terms. So this is one of the biggest things that can get in the way of somebody moving away from employment to working on their own, is that they're very used to doing what somebody else wants them to do, or walking at the bell, doing it the way they're told. And there can be some level of discomfort from doing things the way you want to do them. So I would always recommend to any of you guys who want to break out of working for somebody else, try to start working as much as you can the way you want to. Do it the way you want to do it. Be a little bit rebellious, because that will start to pick up steam in this understanding that I can work the way I want to work. I can work the way I want to work. And then what happens is that the work environment will start to shift to allow you to do more of that. And also you'll start to cultivate the faith that I can do what I want to do and still make money. I don't have to take orders. I can do it my way. Now you can start doing that now. Okay. So little things, like maybe you change your outfit at work a little bit, or you mess up your desk a little bit, or, maybe they want you to come into the meeting at 6:05, but you roll in at 6:10, push the limits a little bit, and you'll start to see that you're still able to work and make money. Use momentum, I guess is my point. Great question. Great question. Okay, I'll get this one here too. Opulent Beauty, thank you for the super. Opulent Beauty says, going on a trip, only have enough money to fly out, not return home or buy food on the trip. Should I still go and trust the universe will provide? Well, how do you feel about it? If you'd like to, I would look at it as like an adventure or a challenge. And fun fact, my brother does this kind of stuff. Now, my brother has plenty of money to bail himself out. but he loves to travel. So what he will do, literally, he will go online and find some cheap ticket somewhere and just go. And a lot of times he just takes a backpack and maybe his laptop. He doesn't worry about where am I staying. He just shows up and figures it out. So I'm telling you that because there are people who just kind of do that. They just kind of figure it out as they go. And he likes that as like an adventure. So if you can think of it as an adventure and have fun with it from that perspective, I'd say go for it. Why not? You already said you're going. Go. You didn't say maybe I'm going. You said you're going. So go and come back and tell us. But again, if it feels like too big of a stretch, you don't have to. You don't have to test this stuff to prove that the law of attraction works, but gauge within yourself. Do I think I can look at this as an adventure? Great. Then you will be successful. Are there some more, see some more coming in? I'm going to pause you guys for a second. I will get you. Thanks for all the supers, guys. This is great. Okay, but let me keep going. I don't want to get too far off topic here. Again, today we're talking about when you don't need it, you will get it. Okay? The neediness. The neediness has got to go. It's got to go. The more you guys step into this, the more you're going to notice most people are very, very needy. And the neediness doesn't work. You want to become the kind of person who literally could say, you know what, I'm going on the trip. I don't care if I have any money. I don't even need it. Okay? That's the way we want to look at things, because that's the energy that says, I am complete, I am whole, everything works out for me. So here's the next thing. This is a great way to think about neediness if you find yourself clinging to something that you want. Whenever you find yourself clinging to something that you want, I want you to think of it in terms of other people. Okay, because you can see this in your dynamics with other people, and it's a really great illustration of the energy and how the energy of neediness works. So neediness is always very off-putting. So if somebody's very needy towards you, they want your time, they want your attention, they're getting clingy, what do? You start backing it up, okay? And so this is the energy you have to understand. Every time you start to cling, the thing that you want will start to back it up. So I'm always reminded of this when I think of like friendships. Okay, so there was this one girl I met. I won't give too many details because I don't want to hurt her feelings in case this comes back around to her. But there was this one girl that I met once upon a time. And from the beginning, she just took a shining to me. She wanted, oh, let's take pictures and put them on Instagram, and oh, we're buddies and let's hang out. And she wanted my attention. And at first I was like, okay, this is friendly, this is great. But over time, it just felt like there's something off about this. And I started to pull back. And I started to text less, text shorter. And she kept dialing down to the point where I'm like, I'm just going to stop texting her entirely. Even though it's rude. It's not very nice to just ignore somebody when they text you. But it literally got to that point where I'm like, I have to withdraw my energy totally from this person. She wanted to be my friend, but her neediness pushed me away. And it's too bad because in the beginning, I was like, oh, she's kind of nice. I can get along. But the neediness literally pushed me away. Now, when I contrast her with one of my closest friends, one of my closest friends today, it's a very different dynamic. I mean, we may go a week or 2 weeks and not say anything to each other, no text whatsoever. But then it's like, hey, let's go hang out and we'll come together. We'll go out to lunch. We'll go out to coffee. We'll go do something. And we're so in tune with each other. And then when that interaction is over, okay, see you later. And there's no need to follow up. I don't need to check in with her tomorrow. She doesn't need to check in with me next week. We will just naturally come back together. There's zero need. So with my very closest friend, zero need, zero neediness on either end. And with somebody who ping pongs right off of me, total need. And so I want you guys to think about this when you find yourself wanting the thing that you want or fixating on the idea that I need it. When is it going to come? All we're doing is we're becoming like that really needy person who's literally forcing the other person to ghost them. Okay. That's what we're doing. We're forcing the thing that we want to ghost us because that's the energy that's involved. Okay. This requires some retraining for a lot of people, because for a lot of people, you've been taught that you should care and that you should prioritize things that are important to you. It should be a priority if someone is important to you. It should be a priority if your career is important to you. No, no, it's not a priority. When I get there, I enjoy it, I have fun, and then something else comes in and I go do that. I never put anything in my life at the top of the list, ever. Don't do that. And that's what a lot of people are doing wrong, is they have one thing that they want. Maybe it's money or career or boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. And they make it more important than everything else. You don't ever want to do that. Again, you are all that is. You are creating a very multifaceted life. There are lots of things that you need to attend to, and no one of them goes over the others. Not your children, not your husband, not your job, not your money, ever. I don't care. I don't care who disagrees with that. It's true, because the second you put that thing above everything else, you're projecting need onto that thing. You're pushing that thing away, and you're not able to stay in flow with the other things in your life. Okay, so always remember that analogy whenever you find yourself starting to get kind of tied in. I haven't mentioned it yet, but if you have not yet, please go ahead and subscribe to me on YouTube. If you have not yet, turn on your notifications so that you are notified when I go live. Follow me on Instagram, like the video, all that good stuff. Okay, we got some more supers here. Let me come back and get these. Ooh. Melody, how do I view micromanaging people who rush me to move out? Well, I'm not sure, like, that you're living with. Okay, so the big thing is I move at my own pace. Okay? And it doesn't matter what somebody else wants me to do. People are going to try to rush you. And the more the more you acquiesce to doing what people want you to do, the easier it is for you to do that. But the issue here isn't moving out, okay? The big issue here is maintaining your own sovereignty to move at your own pace. Whether it's a boss that's trying to rush you, or roommates that are trying to rush you, parents that are trying to rush you, traffic that's trying to rush you, I move at my own pace. So when you're starting to attract people that are pushing on you and you're feeling that pressure, that's really kind of showing you that I have a tendency to acquiesce. Most people do. But one of the most powerful things that you can do as a manifester is claim sovereignty over your own life. Go where you want to go, do what you want to do, stop when you want to stop, even if you're at work, even if whomever it is, okay, even if it's a roommate. So I wouldn't necessarily be worried too much about viewing them. They're just showing me I need to move at my own pace. Okay. Now, maybe that feels like a stressful situation, and it's hard for you to move at your own pace in that situation because it's a living situation. But what you can do is you can start to practice this in other areas of your life. All right. So for instance, let's say that you are invited to a party. Okay. The party starts at 6, but you're feeling kind of icky, whatever. I don't really feel like going yet. Well, then show up at 7. Show up at 7:30. Maybe you're at a party. I do this all the time. I'm at a party and everyone wants to keep going, but I'm tired. I'll just leave. Is it rude? Maybe. Who cares? More important that I have jurisdiction in my own life to do what I want to do when I want to do it, because again, that's how your reality is constructed. So you always want to be moving with, I'm doing what I want to do when I want to do it, then things line up. Okay? So view them in a positive way, because hopefully they are a lesson in moving to your own drum from here on out. Okay. Cowlitz Bill, thank you for the super. Cowlitz Bill says, how do I manifest good mental health and feeling empowered? How do I stop needing to heal from depression and anxiety when it seems like it's all I want? Okay, I like this question. So if you've been following me for a long time, you know that I was not always emotionally stable. So I had pretty serious drug addictions, anxiety. So I've been there, okay? One of the big shifts for me has been in understanding that, again, this is an infinite playing field, meaning you can go infinitely into the darkness or you can go infinitely into the light. Okay? So if I've struggled with anxiety or depression and I'm trying to look down and see, why did this happen? Why did this happen to me? How do I fix this? My focus as the creator is focused on the depression and the anxiety. I need to heal from trauma means that I'm focused on trauma and I'm pointed down the rabbit hole in that direction. And so this is something that actually happens for a lot of people who are trying to recover from traumas or recover from mental health issues, is that they go digging into the problem and that keeps them rooted in the problem. So instead, what helps is, again, this is infinite. There's infinite degrees of health. If I just say to myself, I'm moving in the right direction, I'm getting healthier, I'm getting better, and, the sky is the limit. Actually, there is no limit. Well, now I can just focus on getting better, getting better, getting better, getting better, getting better, getting better, getting better. Does that make sense? So I'm not telling you to not go to a therapist, but change the perspective. I'm getting healthier. I'm getting healthier. I'm getting healthier will spiral you upwards. Okay? The big trap is, why did this happen? When am I going to get over this? Because that focuses in on the trauma, which keeps it active. The other thing is looking at the past or looking at the traumas as being the springboard for you to move forward. So before I understood all of this, I would look back at like my childhood and say, oh, I'm a victim. All these terrible things happened to me. Today, I would say, thank God all those things happened to me. Because if I could get through that, nothing can shake me now. So we have to reframe the past as being something that was holding you back to rather being the thing that catapulted you forward to getting healthier. Hope that's helpful. Tragon, thank you for the super. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. And we got another one here from Christina. Thank you, Christina. I see my dream daily and all over in my reality for years. Hard to let go when always reminded of it, and I'm sad. Why is this going on, and what do I do? Okay, so good question for today's topic. Okay, so what this is saying to me is there's something that I want, and it's become a priority. I'm thinking about it. I'm placing it up on a pedestal, right? So there's that degree of need. So it's okay if it reminds you, but the trick is, okay, again, like I said before, you are a multifaceted, infinite creator. You're not just creating one dream. It's not, oh, I got the money or I didn't get the money. I got the job or I didn't get the job. You're creating all of it. So everything that's around you right now, everything you are manifesting. So take that as I'm kind of like the CEO of a major corporation. I don't have time to sit here and get too fixated on this one little thing over here. And if I notice that I'm getting fixated on that, that's my cue to redirect into another area of my life. Okay. Now, if it's been coming up, we've gotten to that habit of thinking about it, the thought will still come up. That's okay. But every time you find yourselves needing or dwelling on something, that's always a sign that I'm prioritizing this against the totality of my existence. So we don't want to be doing that. So this is one of the big shifts, is that, again, when you guys sense that you're needing something, it's a sign that you are devaluing the rest of your life. So you have to kind of pull away from, okay, we're going to turn that off for a second. Let me go focus on my kids. Let me go focus on my job. Let me go focus on my health. Let me go focus on having some fun. Let me go focus on my friend. I got so many things to focus on. I don't have time to be overwhelmed with this one. Okay? That's the big thing. And most people are doing this, where they get very fixated on one thing, and then it starts to dominate their thoughts. And it really keeps you out of the flow of everything else. So don't look at it as a bad thing when you're reminded of it and it makes you sad. That's just a reminder of, oh, okay, time to go focus on something else. I got a huge organization I'm running here. Let's go do something else. And then the funny thing is that when you detach your focus, then it can work out. Because now you're not focused on the need. Okay? Good question. Again, today, guys, we're talking about when you don't need it, you'll get it. When you don't need it, you will get it. So, and I was just kind of talking about this in the last question. Neediness focuses on lack. Okay? So this is another thing you want to remember. When you find yourself feeling like you need something, what it means is in that moment you're focused on lack. You're focused on not having. And you attract whatever your focus is. So that sense that I really need it means I don't have it. And so as a consequence, you won't have it. Not because you can't have it, not because it isn't already yours. It is already yours to give to yourself in your physical reality, but you're denying it to yourself by focusing on its lack. Okay? So neediness focuses on not having, it focuses on lack. Not needing focuses on having and focuses on abundance. Not needing focuses on having and it focuses on abundance. When you are not needy, when you are not needing anything, what you are focusing out into your universe is I am complete as I am. I have everything I need. And so then the message that I'm imprinting on my world is I have everything. The message you put out is what you get. So by you not needing the money, not needing the boyfriend, not needing the girlfriend, not needing the house, not needing the clothes, not needing the health condition to improve, by you not needing anything means that you create a world where you have everything. It's that simple. And this is why when you meet people who are very good at manifesting, they have this very high degree of confidence. I'm sure you guys have met people like this before where they just walk into a room, they don't care. They have a 0 F's given attitude because they don't need. Okay? And those people are the people that have the most money. They get the most stuff. They get the most success. They have the most popularity. They have the most friends. Why? Because they don't need it. So they are focused on abundance rather than lack. Okay? So perfect example of this was me writing the script for today's video. So I always kind of the day before, usually I'll sit down and kind of think about what I'm going to talk about and I'll write a few notes. But it wasn't getting done. I just wasn't feeling it. So wasn't getting done. But then I had a situation happen where I had texted somebody and I needed some important information back. Needed some important information back. Now, because I needed this person to text me with this information, what do you think was happening? They weren't texting. Why? Because I needed it. So in the moment that I felt that I needed this person to text me this information, what I was focused on is I don't have this information. Therefore, that person would not text it to me. So I could sense that I was starting to get fixated on getting this text message with this information back. And when I see things like this, then I do what I mentioned in that last question, which is I can recognize, okay, I'm starting to need, go focused in another area of your life. So I asked myself, what else can we focus on? Well, let's go ahead and make that script. Go ahead and just make the script. You need to do that anyway. Let's go ahead and just do that. So I picked up my phone and I started going off and thinking about what all I was going to talk about in today's video. And when I got to this specific section and I was focusing on the idea of not needing means that you are in abundance, boom, text message showed right up on the screen. Information came. So I want you guys to understand this. The power of distracting yourself with the other facets of your life is a very, very powerful thing. The second you get yourself engrossed in something else and you're no longer focusing on need, now you are automatically focused in having. That's the way it works. You can't be focused on something else, whether it's your children or a television show or doing your work or whatever, and be really engrossed in it and simultaneously be focused on lack. So whenever you guys feel that need, go do something else. because you will automatically step into that state of abundance, that state of having, and that's the minute things show up. Okay? Very powerful thing to be doing. All right, let's come over to Instagram here. See if we got any questions. Haven't answered any over here yet. See, Faroki, how to stop getting angry or fighting with your spouse. Ooh. Well, anger is okay. One of the big, again, anything that you try to reject, you're going to keep more of. So, and I'm saying this because I used to be a very angry person. And when I learned about the law of attraction, I wanted to stop being angry. And that actually kind of backfired because I was telling myself, you're not allowed to be angry. And then I felt what I am angry, and the focus was on the anger. So instead, it's okay to be angry if that happens, right? But understanding that when we get angry about stuff, very frequently, it does kind of boil back into this issue of need. I need things to go my way. I need the traffic to part. I need my husband to do X, Y, Z. I need, okay? So anger very frequently is related to need, getting frustrated that something isn't there that you want or that things are not going the way that you want. So again, the big shift is I don't even need it. He doesn't want to take out the trash. Fine, I don't even need it. You don't want to do that? That's fine. Do whatever you want. I don't need you to change. I don't need that to work out. It doesn't have to happen. I'm still powerful. Again, the moment things don't go your way is your greatest opportunity to practice your power and in reminding yourself that you don't even need it. You are an infinite creator, so what does it matter if they said what you wanted them to say? What does it matter if they texted you the information? It doesn't matter. Okay? So that's the big thing. And you will notice this, that the more leeway you give people, the more they comply. So with your spouse, try this out. Instead of hounding your spouse to do something or to hear your perspective, I always find that it's helpful to just drop it in there and back off. So that, this is what I think, but whatever. Or it'd be really nice if we did X, Y, Z, but whatever you want to do. Or if I want my husband to do something for me, if you've got time, could you do X, Y, Z? Not, I need you to do this, you have to do this, da, 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 da. I throw it out there and then I back it up and let him decide whether or not he's going to do it. Now, because I don't need him to do something, he will do it of his own volition. Okay? Now that I don't need the person to agree with me, they'll actually listen to me and agree with me. That's one of the reasons I can do this, okay? Because I love all of you, but if you disagree with me, it's okay. You don't have to agree with me. And sometimes you may see that people come up and challenge me and it's like, it's fine. You don't have to believe. And the second you don't need somebody to believe what you're saying, then they're more receptive to it. So that's kind of the mindset shift. Good question. Christy Bennett, advice on reframing a scarcity mindset, especially time and money. I have a job I love, but restricts me from having a fulfilling life outside of it. I want to date and perform again. It doesn't restrict you. You restrict yourself. That's the big thing to remember, okay? You always have the power to do what you want to do. So if you find yourself when you're at work and you're feeling like you're hanging in there when you don't want to be, pull away. Honor that. That's the big thing, because whatever you start to do consistently, the universe will reorganize itself and allow you to do more of. So the problem that most people have in careers like this is that they start to tell themselves, I have to do all this stuff. I have to work all these hours. I have to answer all these calls. I have to. And they construct a cage around them. Okay. So the job didn't do it to you. Rather, my desire to fit within the framework of that job created the cage around me. But you can disentangle yourself from it simply by allowing yourself to do what you want to do when you want to do it. And so sometimes I mention this is that before I did this, I used to be a high school teacher. Now, when you teach high school, you have 6 or 7 periods a day. You're expected to be on at 8, at 10, at 12, at I have to be here at this time, leave at this time. We have this many meetings. And there's that cage that was constructed around me where literally almost every minute of my day was accounted for. But within that framework, when I learned this, I started loosening the reins a little bit. Okay. So maybe I'd come in a little bit later. I would actually sneak out sometimes. If I could. I had 7th period planning and you were supposed to stay till the end of the day. I'd sneak out. Now, could I have gotten in trouble? Sure. But I understood what I'm telling you right here, which is that I did my very best to do what I wanted to do when I wanted to do it. And then things started to reorganize to where now my work life is I just work when I want. But the pathway there is in working through what you're dealing with now by not just agreeing with the rules and just doing what you think you're supposed to do, but tapping into this. What does this want to do? And following this more and more. Okay. I know it can be scary, but it actually does really, really work. Oh, we got more. Getting way behind here. Let's see. Nilsa, thank you for the super. How do I regulate my anxiety physical symptoms? Practicing relaxation. So if you have anxiety, okay, so this is a tip to get you started, but there's lots of them. You want to become more attuned to relaxation. You want to make that more dominant. Okay, so a lot of times people think, I have anxiety, I just have anxiety, and that's just the way. No, okay. If we have anxiety, it means that we started to focus into anxiety until it became dominant. But it doesn't have to be that way. We can focus into relaxation until relaxation becomes dominant. So there's different ways that you can do this. A lot of people talk about meditation. Meditation is great. This is one that really helped me out when I got started. Which was something, they call it square breathing. It's more like triangle breathing, but it does help. It helps regulate your nervous system. It kicks in your parasympathetic nervous system. But when you have a moment of anxiety and you feel that, okay, you feel that, all right? What you want to do is you want to kick in the relaxation component, okay? So the way that you do this is through deep breathing. And so through this square breathing, you take in a deep breath for about 5 seconds, hold it for like 5 seconds, and then breathe it out for 5 seconds. And any of you guys can try that right now, just to notice that if you do that, you're automatically going to take yourself down a couple octaves. If you were operating up here, now all of a sudden you're down here. So I'm giving you this because every time you feel that, okay, deep breath, hold it, do it every single time. Now, the reason why I'm telling you this is if you have true anxiety, you're going to have many times to practice this today. And that's a good thing because every time you practice it, you start to wire it as a habit. So this has gotten to the point, I did this a long time ago, years ago, and I don't really experience almost any anxiety at all. But let's say I have a situation now where maybe I'm in my car and there's a near miss, or I have to step on my brakes real fast, and I have that same sensation of, I will automatically go, hold it in and relax. I don't have to train myself to do that anymore. It has just become habitual. And so train yourself to do that because every time your anxiety starts to rise, you'll naturally turn yourself off. So try that out. Great question. Luis, thank you for the super, Luis. Hi. Hey, Andrea, what about goals that go way beyond your needs? If you already have a nice, comfortable life, but you are very ambitious. I know I don't need it, yet I desire it. I'm sure that happens to you too. If we both know we are the creators. Yeah, ambition is it's a double-edged sword, okay? It's good to want to get better. It's good to want to improve. I would say that sometimes with the ambition, it's like, I got to prove this to myself. Okay. And that's a form of need too. So be mindful of that. And I'm saying that because it's been very helpful for me in understanding I don't need to get any better. Even if this was the best we ever did, well, good. We could put a stamp on this lifetime. We did good. Okay. I don't need it. This is just for funsies rather than I need to prove something to myself. So that's one of the things I talk about a lot. You try to make things an adventure just for fun, just to see what happens, rather than I need to clear this level or I need to somehow prove to myself or to somebody else that I got so far. Okay, so ambition a lot of times speaks to that need to prove. We don't want to need, you don't, there's nothing to prove. You already are the creator. Okay, you did it. Okay, you already did it. You're here. It's a miracle. What do we need to prove anything else for? But as the creator, well, this might be fun. Okay, so that's the perception that I try to take when I'm reaching for something bigger. Well, let's just see what happens rather than I need to prove this to myself. Great question. Okay, again, today we're talking about when you don't need it, you'll get it. And most people feel that they need the things that they want. We want to get away from that. You already have everything that you want. You are the creator, meaning that you already have all the toolkit. You're like the painter who has all the paint, has all the colors, you have all of it, and you get to decide what you're going to paint on the screen. But you already have all of it. So when you need something, it's like you've forgotten you have the color purple. You're looking at, where is it? Well, it's in my toolkit. I already have it. That's why neediness doesn't work, because neediness is you projecting the lack of purple onto your screen rather than realizing I already have it. So what do I care? Okay. So here's another issue when it comes to needing that we have to understand why neediness doesn't work. When you need something, what you're saying to the universe is, this is a big deal. Okay. I really need this job. This job is a big deal. It's a big deal. Much bigger than me. Much bigger than me. And so this is the fundamental problem with needing, is that whenever you need something, you make it bigger than yourself. You make it more important than you. You make it more important than your life. You make it more important than your infinite power. This piddly little job is a big deal. Okay, that's what you've done. And so the problem with this is that when we make something a big deal, we say we are beneath it. I'm beneath it. I'm beneath this money. I'm beneath this job. I'm beneath this person. I'm beneath it, whatever. And so then we have the experience of being beneath it. It controls us rather than us being the one in control. This is a fundamental problem because, again, you guys are the creators of your reality. You are the big deal. Nothing's bigger than you. You're the big deal. Everything in your reality defers to you, not the other way around. But you can create the experience of being the underdog in your world by deciding that other things are the big deal. And so this is a lot like if we look at people, you can see these dynamics very clearly when you look into relationships that people have with each other. If you think of like a social group, like a group of friends or colleagues or whatever, there's always kind of that hierarchy, right? So you got the popular friend at the top. Everybody looks to them. They're so important. Okay, everyone invites them to the party. Everyone wants to talk to them. And then on the bottom of the hierarchy, you have the people who are not popular or the people who feel like they're struggling to get in. Okay. Now, neediness is like that dynamic when, like, being that unpopular kid looking at the I wish they would accept me. I wish they'd let me in. But not needing is like being the popular kid. I don't need any of these peasants. They don't even care. They don't even care. And because they don't care, the others look up to them. It's the same dynamic if you're trying to attract money, if you're trying to attract career, if you're trying to attract a house, if you anything that you decide you don't need, what you say to the universe is, this is beneath me. That's what you say. It's beneath me. And if it's beneath you, it means you have control over it. And if you have control over it, it means it's going to show up and do what you want it to do. Okay? So the things that are not a big deal to you, the things that you don't need, you will always find are very easy for you to manifest. That's why so many of you will write into me and say, well, how come is it that I can attract $20 so easily, Andrea? It's so easy for me to attract 20, but I want to attract 20,000 and I can't get it. Why? Because you don't think $20 is a big deal. That's why. $20 is no big deal to you, so you could attract $20 all day long. That's why. So everything should not be a big deal, especially the things that you think are a big deal. The second you think it's a big deal, shove it back to the bottom. This is not important. I don't need this relationship. I don't need this money. I don't need this job. I don't need any of this stuff. Not important. It's not bigger than the program. I'm the program. Okay. It's beneath me. This sounds very entitled, but this way of thinking is going to make it a lot easier for you guys to manifest. Can't be needing these things. Okay. Come back over here real quick. Higher Self, thank you for the super. Higher Self says, hi, Andrea. How to learn to let go and trust and be free of being insecure in marriage or relationships. You know, what really causes that is a degree of codependency. Most people are codependent in relationships. That's kind of the main problem, is that I need someone to agree with me. I need to get along with this person. I need to modify my behavior. So that there's a lot of that going on within relationships. So when you guys are dealing with your relationships, whether they're friendships or marriages or whatever, again, the big thing is do what you want to do when you want to do it. Okay. If you're tired of talking, put the phone down. If you don't want to do something that you have heretofore been doing for your partner, stop doing it. Not because you're trying to teach them a lesson, not because you need them to react. No, it has nothing to do with them. I'm going to do what I want to do, period. Because what you will find is when you do what you want to do, the people that are around you will gravitate towards you to support you doing what you want to do. It's a very interesting thing. So like within my marriage, before I knew anything about this, I was very people-pleasy. So I'm trying to be the good wife. I'm going to do all the cleaning and the cooking, and I'm going to acquiesce, and I'm going to But when I learned this, it naturally spilled over into my marriage, where I just started doing more of what I wanted and less of what I didn't. And it was very interesting because my marriage got better. My husband got nicer. He started doing more things for me. He became more agreeable with me. Whereas before, when I tried to tap dance around him, all kinds of problems. So I'm telling you this not because I'm trying to encourage people to be selfish, because I want you guys to all be devilish, mischievous characters. That's not why I'm asking you to do this. I'm telling you this because it works. When you do what you want to do, when you want to do, everything else lines up. You will heal your marriage. You will heal your relationships, because you're no longer trying to create things to work in the right way. You're just doing what's right for you. And because you're doing what's right for you, the reality shifts to allow you to do that and to feel free. And it's a very freeing thing. And when you get that, you can let go, because every time you sense yourself clinging, you're like, okay, well, whatever, I'm going to go do something else. And you just let it work out. Great question. I wish I had money so she would answer. Okay, Catherine, where's your question? Let's see. Oh my gosh. We got lots of questions here, Catherine. How do we be free to do as we want with governments doing digital ID? Do what you want. Just do what you want. That's the point. Stop giving your power over to the government. Y'all gotta stop doing this, okay? Just they can't do anything to you unless you agree to it. That's the thing you have to understand. You're the creator. So what the government chooses to do doesn't matter. And here's what's happening. I'm going to get on my soapbox for a minute. Here's what's happening, okay? You see something on the news that's happening somewhere, and you say, oh, they're coming to get me. I need to be worried. Meanwhile, no one came to get you. You just saw something on the news. You understand? They didn't get you, okay? You're still free. You can still do what you want to do. Don't give your power away, especially not to the news, guys. If it's not happening to you, it's not happening to you. It's a big thing to understand. We don't need to be worried about what's going on the idiot box, okay? That's, again, that in and of itself is a projection of my own consciousness. If I'm seeing something on the news I don't like, guess what? I put it there through the fear that I projected onto the screen. Okay? You're so powerful, you can literally do that. So they're not controlling you, you're controlling them. You get it? What if you're trying to heal the marriage and you suffer with trust issues? Okay. I don't know exactly what the trust issue is. Let me just give you one and we'll play it out, okay? Let's say that you are in a marriage and your husband cheated on you, okay? And you decided you want to stay with this marriage, okay? Well, if I'm going to continue to look at this, is he going to cheat on me again? Is he calling anybody? Is he texting anybody? Guess what's going to happen, right? Because I'm worried about the lack of trust and the cheating, then I'm projecting more of that into my world, unfortunately, okay? Now, this doesn't get him off the hook. He's an active participant, right? But I'm participating in it too. We're lining up, right? So instead, if you still want him, the attitude is do whatever you want, man. Talk to whoever you want. Guess, and here's the best way to think about it. Go ahead and talk to somebody else. They're just going to make me look better. Who could you possibly find that's better than me? I don't need him to be faithful to me. Then he will be. I don't need him to be loyal. Go talk to whoever you want. I know what I am. I'm the creator of this. I am literally the creator of this world. Who are you going to find better than me in this world? Now, if he talks to somebody else, you're viewing them as beneath you. He's not going to find them interesting either. Could have been something else, but hopefully that's helpful. All right, Lily Rain recommended square breathing. That's funny. We're tuned in. That's a good one. The square breathing, guys. If you suffer from anxiety, do that. Do that till it's just so habitual. It just automatically happens. You will cure yourself of your anxiety. Oh, I just saw something good. Okay. Mickey D's channel. If we already have it, where is it? It's inside of you. All this stuff you guys see in your reality, okay, it's like a hologram. That's what you have to understand. Everything that's going on, including me on the screen right now, this is a hologram. Your consciousness contains everything, every idea. So when it shows, like this stapler, it's a hologram. It's a representation of an idea in my consciousness. So if it's not in front of me, well, maybe right now it's in my subconscious. It doesn't matter. It's in you. One of the big things that's helpful with manifestation is understanding this is all a dream. So just like if you were to go to sleep and you were to see a stapler in your dream, would you think that that stapler is real in your waking state? No. You would understand that your consciousness created the stapler in your dream state. The same thing as this. It's the same thing here. Okay? That's how you already have it. I hope that makes sense. All right, guys. Reminder, if you have not yet, please subscribe to my channel. Like the video. I do plan on being back next Sunday, so same time, same place. If you are new to my work and you've enjoyed watching this, but you're not quite sold on the idea that you're the creator, you don't quite believe it, please take my manifesting test. Okay, so I have a manifesting test. It is free. It only takes 5 minutes. And you can prove to yourself that the law of attraction works by putting something out and watching it come back. Because it's really, really important that you understand at the end of the day that you're the one in charge. That's the big thing. Okay, so if you haven't taken that test yet, please go to manifestingtest.com. Again, that is manifestingtest.com. If you're on Instagram, the link is in the link tree in my bio to take that one. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, you can check out the link in the description. But manifestingtest.com is the direct link. Again, I will be back next Sunday, so please come back and hang out again. But it was been nice talking to all you guys. Thanks so much for all the supers. You guys really hooked me up today. I do appreciate it. And of course, I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.